Time-traveling Patriots, a President's Day adventure. In a quaint town nestled amidst rolling hills, there stood a school where children eagerly awaited the annual President's Day celebration. Excitement buzzed through the air as the students prepared for a day filled with historical reenactments and patriotic festivities. Tommy, a curious young boy with a passion for history, couldn't contain his enthusiasm as he donned his makeshift Abraham Lincoln hat. "I can't wait to learn all about our nation's great leaders," he exclaimed to his friend Emily, who was adjusting her Martha Washington bonnet. The schoolyard was adorned with red, white, and blue decorations, and a giant poster of Mount Rushmore served as the backdrop for the day's events. As the students gathered in the auditorium, their history teacher, Mr. Thompson, greeted them with a warm smile. "Welcome, young scholars, to our annual President's Day celebration," he announced, his voice echoing off the walls. The day kicked off with a lively performance by the school band, playing patriotic tunes that had everyone tapping their feet and clapping along. Next up was the historical reenactment, where students dressed as famous presidents took to the stage to bring history to life. Tommy watched in awe as his classmates portrayed George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Theodore Roosevelt with gusto and flair. Suddenly, Mr. Thompson announced a special surprise for the students, a time-traveling adventure through presidential history. With a wave of his hand, Mr. Thompson revealed a mysterious portal that shimmered with an otherworldly glow. "Step right up, brave adventurers, and join me on a journey through time," he declared, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Without hesitation, Tommy and Emily stepped forward, eager to embark on this thrilling quest. As they stepped through the portal, they were enveloped in a whirlwind of light and sound, hurtling through time and space. When the chaos finally subsided, Tommy and Emily found themselves standing in the grand halls of the White House. They gasped in awe at the sight of President Abraham Lincoln, who greeted them with a kind smile. "Welcome to the White House, young travelers," Lincoln said, his deep voice resonating with wisdom and warmth. Tommy and Emily listened intently as Lincoln regaled them with tales of his presidency, sharing insights into his struggles and triumphs. They marveled at his eloquence and courage, feeling honored to be in the presence of such a legendary figure. Suddenly, a commotion erupted outside the White House, and Lincoln's expression grew solemn. "I'm afraid trouble is brewing," he said gravely, motioning for Tommy and Emily to follow him. Outside, they found themselves amidst a crowd of protesters, waving banners and shouting slogans. "We must address their grievances and strive for unity," Lincoln declared, his voice ringing out with conviction. Tommy and Emily watched in awe as Lincoln engaged with the protesters, listening to their concerns and offering words of reassurance. Inspired by Lincoln's leadership, the protesters gradually calmed down, and a sense of peace settled over the crowd. As the sun began to set, Tommy and Emily bid farewell to President Lincoln, grateful for the unforgettable experience. With a flash of light, they were once again whisked away through time, arriving in a bustling city square. The air was filled with the sounds of celebration as people gathered to honor their nation's leaders on President's Day. Tommy and Emily joined in the festivities, their hearts full of gratitude for the remarkable journey they had undertaken. As they wandered through the crowd, they stumbled upon a statue of George Washington, towering proudly above them. "Did you know that George Washington was the first president of the United States?" Emily exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. Tommy nodded enthusiastically, eager to share his knowledge of presidential history with his friend. Together, they explored the square, marveling at the various exhibits and performances celebrating America's rich heritage. From colonial reenactments to modern-day political debates, there was something for everyone to enjoy. As night fell and the stars twinkled overhead, Tommy and Emily reflected on their extraordinary adventure. "I never knew learning about history could be so much fun," Tommy exclaimed, his face beaming with joy. Emily nodded in agreement, her heart filled with pride for their country and admiration for its leaders. Suddenly, they heard a familiar voice calling out to them. It was Mr. Thompson, their history teacher. "Well done, young scholars," he exclaimed, clapping them on the back. "You've truly embraced the spirit of President's Day." Tommy and Emily smiled, grateful for the unforgettable experience and the valuable lessons they had learned. As they made their way back to the school, hand in hand, they knew that they would always cherish the memories of their presidential adventure. And as they looked forward to future President's Day celebrations, they knew that they would continue to honor the legacy of America's great leaders. For in the hearts of Tommy, Emily, and children everywhere, the spirit of President's Day would always endure. And so, with hearts full of patriotism and pride, they bid farewell to another unforgettable President's Day celebration. As the town lights twinkled in the distance, Tommy and Emily made a silent vow to always remember the lessons they had learned and the heroes they had met. And as they drifted off to sleep, their dreams were filled with visions of grand adventures and historic triumphs. For in the end, it wasn't just about celebrating a holiday, it was about embracing the spirit of unity, courage, and leadership that defined their nation's history. And as they closed their eyes and drifted off to sleep, they knew that they would always carry that spirit with them, wherever they went. For in the heart of every child lies the power to change the world, one President's Day at a time. And so, as the stars twinkled overhead and the world slumbered peacefully, Tommy, Emily, and children everywhere dreamed of a future where they too could leave their mark on history. For in the end, that was the true magic of President's Day, the belief that anything was possible, if only you dared to dream. And so, as the sun rose on a new day, Tommy and Emily awoke with renewed determination and a sense of purpose. For they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them with the same courage and resilience as the heroes who came before them. And as they stepped out into the world, ready to embark on new adventures and make their own mark on history, they did so with a smile on their faces and a fire in their hearts. For they were the future of America, and on this President's Day, and every day that followed, they would strive to honor the legacy of those who came before them. With heads high and hopeful hearts, Tommy, Emily, and kids everywhere celebrated President's Day, seeing it as a reminder of courage, unity, and leadership. And as they looked to the horizon, where the sun cast its golden rays upon a land of opportunity and promise, they knew that the best was yet to come. For in the heart of every child lies the potential to change the world, and on this President's Day, they dared to dream of a brighter tomorrow.